Hi guys, I have run into a little pickle Rick, okay? So I recently repotted my Albo Monstera, okay? And it was going all good, except I saw some dead roots, but it was kind of fine, and I chopped a little bit at the roots. I went in there with my shears. I hosed down the roots, which is usually not a problem. Usually is the key word here. Usually it's not a problem. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that my Albo is doing great, and when you see it you will see that it's not doing great. It's not gonna be an opinion, it's gonna be a fact. Like, you're gonna look at it and be like, yeah, it's not doing that great, girl. What I can glean from this situation is that the roots have been, they're struggling right now, okay? So they're struggling to intake water. On top of that, I am not 100% used to the soil mix it's in. It's kind of like a new mix I've been trying out. On different plants it's been fine, but I'm a little bit iffy on it for my Albo, especially since, like, if plants don't look good, then I go into kind of like freak out mode. I think that I've been making good decisions. Usually I will do something horrible, like overwater. As of right now, I'm trying to underwater. I'm not trying to underwater, but I rather underwater than overwater. It's better usually because you can't bring plants back from root rot, but you can bring them back from drying a little bit. Right now it's thirsty, just so you know before I show it to you, so you're not like, what the heck? But right now it's a little bit thirsty, but even if it wasn't thirsty, it would still look a little bit droopy. So that's where I know the problem's coming. Oh, also that big, beautiful, gorgeous leaf that I bought, because I bought a 1 leaf cutting, is dead. The leaf is dead. After I repotted it, it like yellowed really quickly and it turned brown, and I was able to pull it off. So it died really fast, which was the first sign of something not going well. But if you watch even the first video where I'm buying the leaf, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's kind of a little bit yellowing, but it lasted pretty long, I guess. But okay, enough talking. We're gonna look at the plant now. All right, so here is my Monstera Borzigiana Albo, and yeah, it looks especially bad right now because it does need to be watered. I can see some yellowing right here on this leaf. The leaves are curled. This one will open. This one is gonna stay curled, and then the missing giant leaf, which is honestly a little bit of a relief because it was kind of like a little bit too crazy to be keeping on, and it's freed up so much space. So it needs water right now, like I mentioned, and I'm gonna do that. So let me get my water. Okay, this is fertilizer water, which I don't really know if that's the best thing to be giving a plant with struggling roots, honestly. Yeah, now that I think about it, I should be giving it like a kelp, like a seaweed thing. This is what I'm telling you, like when I make these random mistakes because I'm stressed. So that's done. What's done is done. Okay, while the plant absorbs the water, we're gonna talk about what I'm about to do. So I saw this video of someone saying, like, if you want your Monstera deliciosa to grow really fast, really big leaves, then do this. And what they did was they got like water, a cup of water, and they put the aerial roots of the plant in the water. When I first saw it, I saw it a while ago, I was like, that is not the best idea, but I can see like how it could be helpful for like a short period of time. But I think like long term it would be a detriment to the plant unless you're planning on propagating it. I don't know. I just didn't think it was like the best idea ever. And then I have my plant there struggling, and whenever a plant is furrowed like that, it's usually because it's thirsty, dehydrated. It can't really uptake the water that it needs. Like in the case of my poor little Albo, that's what's going on. I've been keeping an eye on the aerial root because if the aerial root wasn't growing anymore, that would have got me. But I kept my eye on it, and it's still growing. Okay, I was thinking, like, if you saw, I have a little mounted orchid, and the way I water that is by soaking it in water like once a day, and the water will dry out. So I was thinking kind of like caring for the aerial root like an orchid root, because it could still uptake water from the air and it can climb things. But so I was thinking of spraying the root every day, but I was like, that is just so extra. I cannot be doing that. Because I want the plant to take up water somehow, and if it's dirt roots aren't doing their thing, then I need the plant to get some water. So then that video came to mind, and I was like, oh my gosh, could this be the solution? And this is not going to be a permanent thing whatsoever. I don't think that it's the best idea to just have your aerial roots sitting in water, but honestly it could be. Like, it could be the best thing ever, and I'm dumb. Like, if you have done this and you have experienced great things, please let me know, because that would be such a cool hack if you just put your aerial roots in water and then your plant is like growing a ton. So let me know if it works. I don't know, the aerial roots are whatever, because you can literally cut them off if you don't want them anymore. But what I would be worried about is the root rotting and then going up all the way to the node. But I feel like that could easily be stopped, so maybe it's just a dumb worry. We'll see. We'll have to take the video's advice. Any advice that you see, you should always, you know, take any advice with a grain of salt, even advice I give you, because some things that work for me won't work for you. Like, we have completely different climates, we have completely different care. Well, maybe we don't, but we might have completely different climates. We might have completely different care, you know, routines. Like, I'm a very hands-off plant parent, and some plant parents are very hands-on, and things that work for me will definitely not work for you. So any advice, take with a grain of salt. I actually got some filtered water instead of using fertilizer water. I think that would be really bad. And I'm gonna put it in this little cup, and we're gonna put it under the aerial root. Hopefully you guys can see, but I'm just gonna place this. Oh, this is hard to do with water in here. Well, I just poured the water into the plant. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. Now that I've actually done it, some issues have come to mind. So, you know how I was saying that the root was growing nicely? I'm really worried for it to rot. I mentioned earlier that one of the ways this could be a problem is because the root rots and then it goes all the way up to the node. That is something I'm actually worried about, because the aerial root is so short. Like, I have aerial roots that are super long, and that wouldn't be like a worry at all. Like, I would definitely notice before it got to the node. And also sometimes rot is only in the center of the aerial root, or like the root, so you can't even see it. It's like a silent killer until like everything starts turning black, and then you keep cutting and you're like, oh my gosh, this goes deeper than I thought. So that is a worry that I suddenly have. So revised plan, I think I'm only gonna leave it in there for like a couple minutes a day, kind of like how I water my mounted orchid. I think that's gonna be the best way. Here's a tip though that you should take with a grain of salt. If you repot a plant and then the plant is looking a little bit like wilty after, and you know you haven't overwatered it, then it's probably just the plant is like so stressed out. It's probably not uptaking water the way that it should be. So just wait, and it should be fine like about a month in. If it's not fine in like a month, then I don't know, maybe take a look at the roots again. But there's a lawnmower that started. So I'm gonna have to end the video here. Let me know what you guys think. If you've tried this before, I would love to hear. I think the best news ever would be hearing that, oh my gosh, yes, this is the best thing that I've ever done. Let me know your experience with this. The lawnmower has gotten closer, and I'll see you in tomorrow. I have my humidifier and my fan on. I always have either both of them running or just my fan running. So this is how my Albo is looking. This is the day after watering, and I only kept the little water on the aerial root for like 30 minutes. I think I'm gonna put it back on the aerial root. If anything, I had time to sleep on it and I have even more reservations than I did yesterday. But I'm just gonna try it again today and hopefully good will come of it. But you can see that this bigger leaf is not as curled up as it was yesterday. This smaller leaf is still curled up kind of a lot. So I'm just hoping for good things. But I'm looking for the new leaf coming in because I thought I saw one before I repotted it, and I'm hoping that that one comes out healthy and this is all gonna be better soon, hopefully with the help of this water and aerial root. Okay, it's the next day. I've had this in here for the entire night and it was really scary. I feel like there's that weird rot looking stuff. I don't know. I am about to board this whole mission. I'm so uncomfortable with this and I'm gonna have to try and take it out without watering my plant with that water. Oh my goodness. This is a big mistake. Last night I had a ton of time to think about it, like really just overthink it honestly. And I was like, this is such a bad idea, because I was like, you know what, let's just leave it overnight this time, because last time I only did it for like half an hour. And so I was kind of laying in bed panicking, thinking if I should take it out or not, but I ended up not taking it out. And I was able to take the container out without watering the plant, because that would be awful if every time I watered it or every time I put the root in water I had to dump the water out in the plant. That would literally kill the plant. I also want to clarify that to keep this plant alive, I do not need to be doing this at all. This is literally just an experiment that I'm torturing myself with. Like, I know the plant will be fine if I just continue taking care of it, and I don't really need to be putting these aerial roots in water, but I have heard that this is a good hack to, you know, use on the plant to help it grow. And so I'm trying to boost this plant's growth, and that's why you guys are not getting this video with a complete update, like yes it worked or no it didn't, because I want to hear your input first before I continue doing this entire thing, because this is something I'm not secure about doing at all. So at first I was worried. Last night I was extremely worried, and then after I took the water out, I was kind of examining the root even more, and I was looking back on the like first parts, and the root does look like it grew a little bit. It's noticeable to the eye. I was looking at the footage of the plant when I first started, and then I looked back at the actual plant, so I had to have them like technically side by side to notice the difference, but it does kind of look like there's a difference, and it's very exciting. I've been turning the humidity all the way up though, like I turned it off because it was getting a little bit crazy, but I would have the humidity at 99%. And that could definitely be the reason why the root has grown, because the humidity is really good for the plant. Another thing I was thinking about was like if a Monstera was in the jungle, like its aerial roots would probably be attracted to like a body of water. Like if there was a river near it, the aerial roots would probably grow towards the river, right? Or they would find their way to the river or a pond or something. I don't know. It should be fine, but I'm gonna keep doing this until I get your guys' feedback, and I might just stop completely because it's too much for me to handle. So far so good though. Like there is some root growth, and the plant does look a little bit better, like only a tiny bit better, but it's probably just because I watered it. And I was also thinking about it, but the leaves could be just curled like that because they're kind of moving to adjust to the new spot I put the plant in. I put it on a stake so because I wanted the leaves to move towards the light and just adjust themselves. So this could be the leaves adjusting themselves, and then the yellowing of the leaves could be from me seeing those curled leaves and being like, oh, I need to pull back on the watering because I don't want to overwater on accident. So I could have just shot myself in the foot. Since the aerial root is growing, I know that if I end up having to propagate the plant, then it's gonna root and everything's gonna be okay, and then I'll have 2 Albos. But that's it. That's all I have to say. Please leave your opinion if you feel so inclined. But thank you very much for watching. I will hopefully have a good update in the future, or I won't have one at all because you guys gave me advice that was like, please stop, just take care of the plant like normal. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!